rolling, let's say 3 to 5 out of 10, up to your 50%. Some of you guys like to jump on the bike and turn the pedals with a little more pressure right off the get-go, but don't rush into it. Let your legs warm up. Sporting our new kit. This is our new look for the year. So the racers are all ready out there wearing it, and hopefully we'll see some of you moving along into the year. Okay, last few people getting back on their bikes. Good to see you. Turning the pedals over, what we call preferred cadence. I give the guideline 90 to 100, but you can gravitate towards either end of that that's comfortable. Over the course of all these workouts, the idea is you work on getting more tools in your tool bag and a better range, but there's still a definite element of having a better efficiency somewhere in the range. So you find your happy place, but low pressure against the pedals, couple more minutes, still just nice and easy. Hi, George. Wondering how it is out there in the middle of the country. If you're getting a little bit of warmth yet. We've had some crazy stuff going on here. Massive hailstorms. I know, the poor magnolias, right? Just getting pummeled by the hail out here in Vancouver. Okay, guys. Let's just do a little top to bottom check while we're riding easy. Bring the shoulders down. Nice and relaxed. Let's get a little bit of a bend through the elbows. Light hands. And just a nice lively activation. Nice lively activation. Quick feet. And we'll get into our structured warm-up. We are going to be doing a portion of a Fondo, I guess, as an exercise, but it's also relatable to many, many things you do out on the bike, thinking of breaking things up into pieces, something that's really overwhelmingly hard in its entire structure, and bringing it down to look at it as something that piece by piece you can get through. So 30 more seconds here. Bring the gear up now if you weren't at 50%. Bring it up to 50%, holding that cadence. And then we're going to start to bring a little more gear in, do a few little accelerations, stand on the pedals, and then get into our bulk of the workout, which is 2 big sets of over 15 minutes. Okay, so big pieces of work. We'll do it one way. We'll revisit it and do it with a little bit of a change. So I'm going to be talking you through it. Too much to be putting on our written board, but you have it there in your chat as well. Okay, now from your 50% effort, I want you to bring it up to 60. So a little bit more gear. Hold the cadence. Stay relaxed. Every time you have a little bit more workload coming in, you want to just breathe into it, get yourself settled, and let your muscles accept that new workload. Accept. I always say accept. That's that whole, you do what I say, right? Okay, 60%, nice and easy. Thinking about recruitment of your glutes, all the muscles, down through your legs. Okay, remember, easy power stroke is gravity assisted. Always say that, but thinking about pulling along the bottom of the pedal stroke, up around the back, completing the circle. Okay, holding it at that 60%, which is group ride, conversational pace, and this will come into the efforts a little bit today. During the efforts, we'll talk about that. Okay? So a little bit of a push here. I want you to bring up your wattage using a bit of cadence. So the first increase is going to be by a little bit more leg speed. 5 RPM for me, okay? And you're at a 60% output, so that's a little bit of gear behind the feet. Ready? 5 RPM, 2, 1, up, up. You may have to just put a little bit of extra wattage on your smart trainers if it's adjusting for you. Good job. Hold it. 5 seconds. 3, 2, preferred cadence. Bring it back. There's that little burn that you just pushed into your legs. Now I want you to just recover, recover, get used to that feeling. 20 seconds before we do anything. All right? Think about your feet. Think about letting your ankles move, neutral foot position, and all that power going into the pedals through the ball of your foot. Okay, we're gonna stand up. 2, 1, up, up. Light and active on the pedals. Just a short one here. 2, 1, take it back down. Don't throw that bike into people behind you. We had a question about that the other day. What do we mean? Well, when you've had it done to you, or you've had it happen, you will certainly know when someone's bike kind of shoots into your front wheel because you were a bit too close and they were not paying attention to taking the bike with them as they sat down. Okay, another acceleration. 5 to 10 RPM this time. Coming up in 10. Relax the shoulders. Watch that your gear isn't too hard at this point. We have lots of hard work coming up. Talking to myself here a little bit. In 2, 1, 5 to 10 RPM. Bring it up, up, up. Really good, guys. These accelerations, just bringing your workload up between 60 and 70%. In 2, 1, back to your tempo. Should see the gear drop back to around 60%. And feeling warm, hopefully getting warmed up. I don't see any puffies on anyone. All right, we're gonna stand up again. Same as last time, in 10 seconds. This way we're just recruiting all the different muscle groups, getting everything warmed up. In 2, 1, up, up. Not leaning on the handlebars. Awesome, guys. Letting that leg drop fully so that you don't cramp up your quads. Super useful to be able to do this comfortably. In 2, 1, and take the bike with you. Good job. Back to your preferred cadence. And we'll just carry it through. Last 30 seconds here. A little bit of a break. Good job. Eyes up. Nice and relaxed. 10 seconds. And then we're going to back the gear off. All right, getting ready. In 5, 3, 2, 1, and back it off. Just ride easy here. Just nice and easy. Keep the legs going in a nice rotation. Nice, lively leg speed. We're gonna do one big push, okay? One big push, just to feel it. So you can see, after you do an effort, a little bit of an effort. You come back and recover like this, and then your body is primed for going up to that again. Okay? We have different needs for warm-up. Everyone needs some warm-up, although you've probably ridden with someone who's very fresh, very young. It seems like they can just hammer out the door. Quite often, they're a little challenge at the other end, longevity of the efforts. All right, we're gonna bring it up, right up to your 75% number. This is just gonna be short, but I want you to feel it, and at a 90 cadence, okay? So drop your cadence. If you're just doing a really light little turnover, drop your cadence to 90, bring some gear in, 75%. What is that? That is just around your hour power, if you're not familiar with it. That is where you could ride for an hour, and we're only doing this for a tiny little piece. Okay, so get comfortable with this workload, 20 more seconds, and then I'm gonna spend a minute where I want you to bring it up and touch up around your 80-85%, just so that you felt it before it's in the intervals. All right, bringing it up with your gear. Let's make a little increase right now. Hold the cadence, up, up, bring the gear up. Use your app to increase the watts. Feel the force come in. That's almost 15 seconds. Good job, guys. Close to your 30. I want the last 30 seconds to just have you see that threshold way up there, 80 to 85%. Getting ready now. Another gear. Increase, 20 seconds. Come on, push, push. Use a little more leg speed if you want. Last 10 seconds coming up. Awesome. All the way. Last 5, 3, 2, 1. Easy, back it off. Good job. I hope your fans are all working and your windows are open. Don't want you suffering extra output by being too hot. There you go. And unless you're heat training, interesting, just watched an event that happened, first World Cup mountain bike race of the season. They were in Brazil, hot and humid. Not surprisingly, a bunch of the athletes that just came off a big mountain bike stage race in South Africa, incredibly hot for a week, did manage to stay near the top in Brazil. There's a big value to having proper heat acclimation if you're going somewhere where you're gonna have to ride in the heat. I see it all the time with people going to hot climbs for a fun race, and then it's not so fun because it's way, way hotter than your body is prepared for. All right, couple minutes here, just while I explain what we're doing. I had some questions on how to get through parts of a Fondo, and one of the things that came up, there's quite often what we call a crux point in a lot of these events. I know a lot of the ones down south, all over the place, doesn't matter where they are. There's quite often a thing, a hill, something that's a bit ominous. And the question came from someone saying, this hill in the Tour de Victoria, which is out here, was so hard, and they were not really prepared for how hard. In these things, I always say, break them down. When you see the profile of an event, you can see them on there, you can have a look, okay? And in this case, what we're doing is a hill that is about 15 minutes long, and you're gonna be taking it into 3 parts. We're going to go into the bottom part of it, where there's a roll in, there's a hard, steep part, and a push over the first stage. We're gonna take a break Then we're going to do about 5 minutes. So the first stage is about 4. We're going to do a break, 5 minutes after that, which is a step hill part. And so you're going into it steep at the beginning, it relaxes in the middle, and then steep again at the end. And then a very, very steep push after another little break where you're bringing it up to your maximum output pretty much. It's a low cadence, you're on 15, 18% maybe, and you're pushing over that at the very end. First time through, we're breaking it up with a little break in between each. Second time through, we're going to ride through those breaks. We're going to put it together. 50% is all I ask in there, but instead of sitting up easy, we're going to do it where we're connecting it, which is what happens, of course, when you're in the event. So starting this first piece in 30 seconds, the first piece of work, you're rolling into the bottom of it, 1.5 minutes at 60% comfortable cadence. So you're really just coming up from completely easy right now. I'll remind you to keep taking sips of water. After that first approach to the hill, there'll be a steep pitch and we'll stand. So a couple minutes of hard work there. Preferred cadence right now, bring your gear back up to your 60% number if you're not there yet. In 2, 1, 1.5 minutes. Comfortable cadence, all right? Quite often, another thing that takes you by surprise in an event is as you turn into what you know is going to be a hard piece, the effort picks up a little bit. You're definitely riding your bike. You're going into it with just a little bit of heavy breathing already, a little bit of higher output. So when you actually are hitting the hard part, your body's a little bit challenged already. So that in itself is something that we want to get used to doing. You're getting close to 1 minute now, no change until we get to 1.5 minutes. So enjoy this little piece. Then you're going to do 1 minute. We'll drop the cadence. We'll bring up the effort. A steep pitch. This one we'll envision it's around 10%. We're going in 20 seconds. You're going to drop the cadence for me first, down to 70 RPM. I'll give you a cue on that. Effort's coming up to 80. Okay, in 10, we're starting to hit the bottom of the hill. This is 1 minute. It's steep, and then it gets steeper after the minute. Here we go. 70 cadence, 80%, up, up. Come on, 1 minute. Make sure you're not rocking and rolling as the resistance of combination of the hill and your gear start to take over. So 70 RPM, 80%. Relax the shoulders. Thinking about it in pieces, remember? We're gonna get through this in 15 seconds, and then for 1 minute, it's gonna get steeper. Again, 80%, 80 RPM. We're gonna be pushing over the top, and then stand. So 80 effort right now, 80 RPM, so a little bit faster than where you were. 30 seconds. Come on, guys. 30 seconds long, and then we're gonna stand. Okay, close to 10. Good job. Focus on the road or the trail ahead of you. We're gonna stand for the last 30 seconds. In 2, 1, up, up. Come on, guys. Don't need to accelerate. You're just getting on top of the gear. Awesome job. Stay with it. 15 seconds. Right over the top. There's the crest. Keep it going. Last 10 seconds you're into. Come on. Hold on to it. 3, easy. Relax, just 2 minutes. I was actually at a meeting for a Fondo. A lot of very new riders were there just recently, and one of the questions was exactly how do you take on the whole overwhelming concept of setting out to do these, setting out to do the thing, the 100, the 120, the 50 for some people. Breaking it up into pieces and taking it one pedal stroke at a time. We're going to go in another minute. You're riding easy right now. The second time through, all of these portions, I'm going to ask you to stay at around 50%. We're putting it together. Have a sip of water. The next piece is a step hill. It's 5 minutes long. And what we'll be doing is going into it at climbing cadence, at a crisp climbing cadence of 80 RPM. I'm going to get you to start adjusting to that from wherever you are in less than 30 seconds. And you're coming up to your 80%. So again, we're going into a hill. It's not a long piece of work if you break it up, but together the pieces add up to 5 minutes. Okay, 80 cadence right now. Bring that rate RPM down. Bring that gear in. You're going to hit this at 80% in 5 seconds, and then we'll make changes from there. There'll be a step, a relaxed bit in the middle. Here we go. 2, 1, come on. Get after it. Attack the bottom of this hill. First part, just a minute. 80% for a minute. Use the energy around you. Feed off everyone. Got your little posse you're riding with. 30 seconds. The hill relaxes a little bit after this minute, and then it relaxes a lot for a minute. Okay, so we want to be in control right here. Our cadence is going to come up. Our gear is going to come down a little bit, 70%. In 3, 2, 1, 1 minute. Get that comfortable cadence around 90. You're a little under your hour power. Go with this change. This is still a big push. You're going to spend another 30 seconds, and then it's leveling off. But we're with a group. We're in the middle of the hill. We're going to push 60%. But that's going to be our break for this 5 minutes. Okay, false flat coming up in 15. Preferred cadence for this middle part. Getting used to thinking of this as your breaks in the middle of a longer effort. 5 seconds. Here we go. 60%. Preferred cadence. 2, 1. 1 minute. Stay on it. This part is amazingly important if you're trying to ride as a group. Planning to push through these little parts, make the adjustment, not that it feels terribly hard in its own right, but in the middle of a hard hill, everybody wants to sit up. Okay, good. Positive thoughts, positive direction. We're going into another steep part, coming out of this. Second pitch on this 5 minutes. All right, enjoy that last bit of recovery. Little sip of water if you can. Slowing the cadence down to 80 RPM again. In 2, 80%. Bring that gear up. Another steep pitch. Up, up. Come on. Own this minute. Own this minute. Don't let yourself get bogged down. Trying to keep it an 80 cadence. That's still lots of animation in your pedal stroke. Okay? Keep it right there. 30 more seconds. Then we have a false flat coming out of it. But we'll want to stay in the game. Not sitting up. Come on, guys. 15 seconds. False flat. Right ahead of you. Meaning shallow grade, but we want to push into the downhill. 5 seconds. 3, 2, back some gear off. 60%. Preferred cadence. Come on. Get as much momentum in this last minute as you can. Use your gears wisely. 45 seconds. Come on. Get a little break after this again. Awesome job. Come on. Push it with your friends, with your new friends, with the friends you made at the start line, and they're still there after 70K. Okay, 20 seconds. Quick feet, quick feet. Come on, drive it through. 15 to go. Awesome job, last 10. Break after this. 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Come on, all the way through. 3, 2, 1, easy. Good. Back the gear right off. Welcome break. I want to emphasize that the second time through, we're not doing this complete break. So I want you to be doing it this way, thinking about the pieces, and when we put it together, it's going to feel different, okay? But you're still trying to use these couple minutes in the middle for just riding along. Over 90 seconds still. The very last piece, and this is modeled on a really hard crux point at the Tour de Victoria, which is an amazing event on the island. And it's back, actually, it happened last year. It's been happening through COVID. Missed a year. They moved it to the fall, made it happen. But this is modeled a little bit on Munns Hill. And Munns Hill does go for 13, 17 minutes, depending on who you are. And it's got a lot of variations throughout. But it ends in a very, very, very steep pitch of about 300 meters at 18%. So we are going to do that now. We see it rising up ahead of us. The engagement is at 70% as we ride towards it. And it's only a minute and a half when we get on it. So a minute and a half, 70%, riding this nice cadence. Here we go. You can see it looming ahead. It goes from a 5-ish, 6-ish% grade, and then smashes right into a big steep one. And we don't want to have to be stopping at the top for a breather. Here we go. 70%, bit of pressure, 90 to 100 RPM. Let's get into it. 1.5 minutes. Another little cue on lots of these things. We're under our FTP, okay? Put words together. You can discuss. You say, hey, you're suffering. Your buddy that you plan to ride with, looks like she feels a little better. Have a little negotiation right now while you can still talk. Wait for me at the top if you drop me. Okay, 45 more seconds. 70%. Clipped sentences, short words when you're here. Another little cue. 30 seconds now. Often, steep hills have a lot of wear and tear from the winter on the actual surface. Look for the smooth part if you can, all right? Look for the best road surface always when you have the choice. So if it's a closed road for a Fondo, you can do that. 5 seconds, all right? 80%, 60 cadence. This is where it's getting really steep. 2, 1, cadence right down. Bring that gear up. 1 minute. 1 minute. No bobbing and weaving. Eyes forward. Super steep. Super steep. Get this momentum going. Carry it over. Another 30 seconds and a bit. And then we're going to just stand and push our way out of it best we can. Come on, guys. Come on. Turn it over. Keep that pressure on the pedals. This is one of those hills where it feels hard to keep your front wheel down. All right? Fight for it. Fight for it. We're going to stand and get over this last piece. Don't try to accelerate. In 3, 2, come on. Dig in. Awesome job. Eyes up. Don't let your gaze drop. Makes you feel heavy. 20 seconds and a bit. Come on, there's the top. It's just ahead of you. Just over 10 seconds. Gonna roll right onto the top. There's the crust. Carry it over. Last little bit. 3, 2, 1. All right, on the downhill. You made it. Good job. Nice recovery now. And we'll just talk about that whole thing a little bit. So that, at the end, was where the question came that the rider was so unprepared that after that 18% pitch, they basically had to sit down on the side of the road for 10 minutes and take a breather. Part of that, yes, it's physical, but part of it is mental. Part of it is knowing what's coming up. Even if you haven't seen the course, you can still, physically being out there riding it, you can still get yourself ready. You can look at profiles, think about it, little visualizations. That's what I'm trying to help you do right now. Okay? So your brain sometimes, like you're in Europe and you're riding and you get to a 25K hill, don't take it all in as though it's this insurmountable thing. Break it up. If you know it's coming, you can prepare yourself a little bit. Okay, feeling better already? All right. So that was us doing a pretty long hill effort, 15 minutes, that had lots of punchy little elements, and we broke it up with a bit of a break, doing intervals with a little bit of a break. This time, we're going to do it straight through, but the breaks are going to be at 50%. So when we get there, I want you pushing into the pedals. You've found a nice, comfy little place with your posse. You're sitting on some wheels. You're picking the good part of the road, and you're recovering as best you can. Okay? But it's going to be all the way through. So I will cue you on all those changes again. Remember, the first one is we're just rolling into the bottom of the hill at 60%. That's what sets us up at preferred cadence. Have a little drink right now. We're going to go in 1 minute. So that was a nice break. You had a chance to have a few little snacks, get yourself recouped. Find that preferred cadence. Put on some songs you like. You only need to hear me in the switches. I'll be clear. We're going to go in 30 seconds. So start bringing some gear in if you've been sitting up, recovering, relaxed. All right, I'm riding right at around a 94, 95 cadence. I feel pretty efficient around there. Everyone, find your happy place. You want to make these easier pieces as easy as you can so you can really work the hard pieces. We're going in 5 seconds, okay? Bring the rest of that gear, 60%. You're still going at a reasonable conversational pace. Here we go, minute and a half. All right? Right through. Sustained effort. Good job. Take these opportunities to think about anything you can do to relax. Bring the shoulders down. You're getting yourself ready. You know that you have a steep pitch coming up. You know you have 2 minutes where you're going to be riding in and around 80%. The first part is the steepest. It gets a little less steep. And then in order to keep the power sustained, you're going to stand over the top part. Falls flat, 50% instead of resting. Okay, 30 seconds. Little bit mental chat. Maybe you want to lead into this. Maybe you want to sit on your friend's wheel. Probably watch you don't get behind a stranger that might do something erratic. Always a thought. Here we go. 70 cadence. It's steep now. 80%. 2, 1. 1 whole minute here. Come on, guys. Get that gear. No rocking and rolling. Let's leave Bob at home. All right? 1 whole minute. Come on. 30 seconds. 30 seconds to go. Cadence is going to come up a little bit. The hill gets a little bit less steep. Or the group pushes a little bit. Bring the cadence up. 15 seconds, all right? Halfway through this in 15. Hold that 80%. Come on. That's the effort right now. Awesome job. 80 cadence. Roll it up. Effort at 80 as well. Here we go. 30 seconds. Come on, guys. Up, 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 up. 20 like this. So good, guys. Come on. Stay with it. Stay with it. 10. We're going to stand out of it. 5 seconds. 3, 2. Come on. Get on top of it. Up over the steep part. Come on, everyone. All the way. All the way. There's the crest. Coming up. So good, guys. Stay with that. Stay with that. Over the top. Into a little bit of a downhill. And then falls flat. In 5. In 3. 2. 1. Preferred cadence. 50%. Come on, this is different. Putting it together now. Keep riding. Recover. Recover. Use your cadence. Much harder when you can't sit up. Really good, guys. Almost 30 seconds. Mental note to yourself. Do you feel like you're recovering? Does it feel better? Answer, yes. Okay? Hold on to that 50%. You still got over a minute. Do a little check. Shoulders. Eyes up the road. Nice bend in the elbows. Strong through the feet. This next piece is that step hill. 5 minutes long. Starting out A little steep in the beginning for a minute. Pushing over the top into the step in the middle. Another steep bit. And then pushing over the top again. Okay? 30 seconds. Turn the corner. You can see the pitch coming up. It's not as intimidating looking, but the pace also tends to be pretty feisty, and it feels a bit leg sucking. 15 seconds, okay? 80 cadence. Let's get through this first minute of steep, and then we start the steps. Bring the gear up, 80%. You're gonna get that hill in 5 seconds. Crisp climbing cadence in 2, 1. Here we go. Come on. Get after it. Get after it. Push into the pedals. Just think cadence and power, not my legs hurt. I'm a good climber. You tell yourself, not a good climber, it might come true. Tell yourself, you're a good climber, it might come true, will come true. All right, finish off this minute. 20 more seconds. Strong through the feet. Let the ankles move. Feel that power to the pedals. This relaxes a little bit, right? 10 seconds. The grade comes down a little bit. Cadence is coming up to 90. A little bit of effort off. 2, 1. Come on. 1 minute. So good, guys. Halfway through this set. Again. This is burly training. Good job, everyone. Hold on. 30 more seconds. Using that cadence. Using turnover that helps you grab a little bit less gear, a little bit more recovery. That middle part is coming up. We're gonna go down to our 60% effort, but it's not gonna feel like that. Probably until close to the end of the minute. Okay, ready? 60%. 2, 1. Here we go. Preferred cadence. Awesome job, everyone. Recover, recover. Stay with it. Stay with it. Feel the heart rate coming down a little bit. Really good. As much turnover as you can. Bring the shoulders down. Reposition yourself in your group of friends. You have 2 minutes left on this step hill, and then we're going to be setting up for the final steep. All right, less than 10, going into an 80% effort. Here's the last pitch. 80 cadence, in 2, 1, up, up. Come on, guys, dig deep now. 80%, 80 turnover. Come on, drive it, drive it. 1 minute of steep into 1 minute of riding out of it. Come on, guys, committed now. You are so close to the final pitch at the very end. Come on, give me this last bit. Give me this last bit. Awesome job. 20 seconds on this. 20 seconds. Push out of it. 60% again. Preferred cadence. This is where your posse winds up, might disappear. All right, preferred cadence, guys. Get some gear off. 60%. 2, 1. Up, 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 up. Come on, guys. Get comfortable with it. Comfortable. We will get comfortable. Comfortably uncomfortable right now. Awesome job. Stay with it. The break after this is not a full break. Getting ourselves ready for the steep hill at the end. Ride with your smarts about you right now, using some wheels, using good gear choices. 20 seconds before you're going to get into that little light break. A few words to your friends. Come on, guys. Push against the pedals. 60%. No less right now. We're coming up to a less. In 3, 2, 1, 50%. Okay? Riding along now. Use your cadence. Recover, recover. Maybe a couple of your riding friends are just coming up to you right now. They got a little bit dropped on that steep minute. You're regrouping. Little bit of community and having your people around you when you hit the hardest parts of these things. Okay? And this is the final super hard pitch. We're looking for good road. We're going into it in smart gears. First minute and a half at 70% so that you're not doing the steep part from just rolling along. There's pressure in the pedals and then a hard, determined minute and a half at the end. Okay? Hold on to this cadence. I'm going to suggest that you ride around the same cadence into the bottom of the steep, but you're bringing it right up to a little bit under your hour power. 70%. All right, guys. Here you go. Preferred cadence. Hold it right here. Getting ready. 70%. And it just gets harder from there. But it's the end. Positive thinking. 3, 2, 1. Come on. Let's ride into this aggressively. You've got a minute and a half. Comfortably uncomfortable. But you know you just have to attack that final pitch, and then you're on to 17 kilometers in this one Fondo of rolling downhill. Okay? Here we go. Come on. That's 30 seconds almost. One more minute. One more minute. The road is a bit dead here. You know, that sort of bumpy, little bit cobbly feeling. We're sort of out in the woods, away from where they do regular paving. You've all been there on a ride. Okay? Come on. Stay with it now. Stay with it. Just over 30 seconds. Come on, push, push. 30 to go. Only a minute and a half. Only a minute and a half at the end here. Okay, everybody ready? It's steep. It's hard. It's coming up in just over 10 seconds. Cadence coming down. 60 RPM. 60 RPM. Keep some gear behind this so you won't make it up. In 2, 1. Come on, guys. 1 minute. Push, push. Keep that core engaged, driving those pistons, driving through this last minute and a half. Come on, dig deep now. So good, guys, come on. Strong through the feet, strong through the feet. 30 seconds like this. So good. Less than a minute to the top. You've got this. Keep positive. Just the same pressure. Just the same cadence. You're gonna take it and stand over the top in less than 15 seconds, okay? Hold this gear. Hold this gear. Rewards coming up in 3, 2, come on, 30 seconds. Get it over the top. All the way through the timing chip at the top of this. Come on, guys. Almost 15 seconds left. There you go. Last 15. You can do it. Right in to the little crux and then downhill. In 3, 2, 1, and downhill. Whew. Good job. Good job. Recover, recover. Take a drink as soon as you can. Finish off your bottle. Good block of work there, folks. Good block of work. Keep a little bit of resistance behind your pedals. After you've soft pedaled the first bit, just push a little bit of gear up again. Maybe you're just at 3 out of 10, but something that helps you clear the gunk in your legs, get them to feel good again. Okay, how was that, everybody? Was that good? Give me a thumbs up. Was the second time hard? Oh, you want to do another, George? You can do another on your own. Okay, and was the second time a little harder than the first? Yes? Such a subtle little difference, but that's what doing intervals with a proper break and then linking them together for a piece of work is about. Feel it, think of it, and hopefully what you were doing in those breaks where it was full rest the first time and then not really rest the second time, you still have that mindset of trying to get yourself to bring it down and recover. You know what that felt like to do it at full rest. Now you're doing it with a little bit behind the pedals, which is what happens when you're actually out there doing a ride. Those are the places, not the really hard bits I find, but those are the places where you lose your attention span, you drift off, and suddenly you're kind of like, oh dear, there's a whole bunch of bike lengths to my friends or my group, and now I have to do something about that, which sometimes you can't even do, right? So good to go through the process of how that works and think about it. Okay, thank you for this session. That's a wrap.